You're listening to the Disruptive Franchise Podcast with Stacey Can, the podcast that celebrates innovation in franchising and peeks behind the curtain of failure, success, and the future of the franchise industry. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of the Disruptive Franchise Podcast. I'm Stacey and I'm here with the lovely Hannah Cavalier from Boogie Beat Music Movement this week. Hi Hannah.
Hi Stacey, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Good. So Hannah, you are the franchisor of Boogie Beat Music Movement. You have been for some time and you're a franchisor I know quite well and you're building really well. Tell us a little bit about what you do as a franchise, how you got into it.
So Boogie Beat Music Movement has been, it's actually our 25th year this year.
Oh,
We've got a big birthday celebration year happening. And it was all founded with two ladies down in Cheddar 25 years ago. And they built the business all around obviously music movement and also traditional stories as well. So we're very much about, we follow lots of all the early year curriculums across the country, and we're all about developing children's confidence, social skills, listening, language, and their motor skills as well with our props, and all about getting them to engage and use their imaginations in helping the traditional stories to come alive through the music and movement activities that we do with all our own in-house composed music as well.
amazing. It always blows me away that like all of you guys have your own music, because that's like, I can't even imagine how you begin to do that, if I'm honest with you.
I know we've had two new pieces created this year, which is really exciting. So one of them gets launched in September for our big franchise conference birthday meeting that we've got happening. So I'm really excited to get that out to everybody.
Incredible. What's the process for that? Like, do you like, obviously you decide you want some more music, but like, do you brief like a musician? Like, how do you bring that to life? That's the bit that I don't know.
So there's a fantastic lady that I work with who worked with the previous owners, and she has made quite a lot of our Boogie Beat music over the years. She hasn't done all of it. She came on board a few years later, but so we sort of sat down. The one that's being launched in September is one that's all stemmed from me, not based like with sort of an idea that I had, and then we've just between us brought it to life. And she sort of worked on putting all the music part of it together from the tunes that I came up with and the wording that I had. So it sort of then goes a bit backwards and forwards, and then I've been out testing it with my classes as well that I run in the area that I'm in. So they've all had a little sneak preview already.
Love it. I just find it fascinating. It's such a creative process, and I don't do anything like that in my business. So yeah, love it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned there obviously that it was founded by different owners. How did you come to take over as franchisor?
Yeah, so 10 years ago, so I've got a big birthday for my area. So 10 years ago, I found Boogie Beat and opened it in my area. I came on board because my children had gone to school, and I used to work in retail as an area manager, and I travelled a lot of the country every week, and it just didn't fit around having children. And so I had a music and dance background and started looking at different franchises in the area, and came across Boogie Beat, which wasn't at the time anyone near sort of where I was, and just felt that it was quite different to some of the other music and movement groups that are out that we had in our area, and it sort of fitted a gap. And I love storytelling with my children, and it sort of encompassed all the things that I loved. So so I invested in a Boogie Beat franchise then. And then, so 3.5 years ago is now, the original owners asked me if I would like to take over and run and be the franchisor, which was very exciting. So I bought the head office, and I now run both. And it's just been an amazing learning curve. I've learned lots along the way, and absolutely love running both parts of it. So really enjoy it.
Amazing. It's a big step, isn't it? Going from franchisee to franchisor, and that changing relationship with the rest of your franchisees, right? Because like it's a bit of a I had it with Daisy first where I was like, they know me as one thing. So now if I step into these shoes, how are they going to react?
Yeah, definitely. And being part of like the with the original owners, I'd often had people come to my classes to come and see what we do if they were interested, and I would get involved with helping with some of the training. But yeah, then suddenly being that go like the head of it all was a little bit daunting. But yeah, they've all been amazing. They're really supportive. Yeah, we've got a great team out there. There's 18 of us doing Boogie Beat across the country, so yeah, so always looking to grow as well. So if anyone's ever interested, just yeah, give me a shout.
Yeah, absolutely. Get that plug in there. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the thing, isn't it? Like when you become franchisor of a existing franchise, there's lots of preconceived ideas, and that's brilliant because then you can just get going and you know the brand really well. But I guess it's also that kind of um, decision on how you make it yours.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, I mean, it'd been running when I bought it for just over 20 years, and we were just coming out of COVID times when I purchased it. And I sort of felt that everything was running, like everything ran really well. You know, I only saw it from my point of view and what I needed to take to run my business in my area. So then taking over the whole business, I was suddenly a bit like I became quite disruptive.
Good.
So it fits into the awards well, because yeah, suddenly there was lots of things I thought actually that maybe that isn't running in the best way, and maybe I need to add in some new things. So quite quickly, well, within the first 6 months, I'd had to build a new website. So that was a big challenge, and I didn't really quite know how any of all of that side of it worked. So it was all sort of a bit thrown in at the deep end. And then over the 3 years of running the business, I've now like I think every part of it has changed. In some ways, we've just got like better automations. We've got better behind the scenes like access for how everyone can, find information on, like lesson plans, or how to just to we have lots of trainings, how they can watch those and access those. We've changed lots of the systems to make it just a lot easier, and to be able for them to get it as well on their phones, as well as not always having to be at home on their computer to access a lot of the information.
Amazing. It's funny, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people view that word disruptive as quite a negative thing, but actually, when we work in a disruptive way for the best intentions of the result, actually we just see such good results, don't we? Because I think there's such a guilty pathway of taking something over and just carrying on as it is, because that's the way we've always done it.
Yeah,
I think actually what we see in franchise a lot is new franchisor comes in, breathes new life into it that actually nobody realised that it needed, makes a whole load of changes, upsets franchisees because there's lots of changes. Franchisees don't like change, but win them over in that actually we're going to make your life easier, even though you didn't
yeah,
know you needed making your life easier.
yeah, and yeah, that's exactly what we found with our cycle. Yeah, exactly that. That everyone's like, actually, yeah, this is much easier. This is much quicker. And yeah, just everything I do, I try and do it to make it. I think because I'm still running my area as well, so I can see it from their point of view, and obviously having run my franchise as well for 7 years beforehand, sort of all those things that maybe were like, oh, actually, that took a long time to do. Like, how can we make it quicker? So how can we get that quicker? Because I know they're busy, or if they've got class teachers that work for them, they might have 2 or 3 jobs. So actually, how can we make it quicker for them to pick up what we need to do, and that type of thing, to sort of just bring it all together in a much easier format for them all.
Absolutely. Now I'm massively biased here because I had a similar journey to you in franchise, but it's such a nice thing to be able to look at the franchise as the franchisee, isn't it? And
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I found this massively beneficial as well when franchisees would kind of question or challenge, like, I'm not sure about that, or I've got this idea. And I don't know about you, but it put me in a position of being able to go, well, actually, that won't work because, or yes, this is going to be brilliant. Like, has it
yeah,
helped you having that, being able to put that franchisee hat on still? Does that
yeah,
help you with your franchisees?
yeah. I think so, definitely, because and I think they maybe not trust, but like they know that I'm out there doing it, so actually they can see that, okay, well, actually Hannah's given that a go, and so that it is going to work, or she's changed this for this reason, because you're sort of out there doing it as well, and you've got that experience and that knowledge that you're trying to to build, to bring it all together. So yeah.
And you touched on it there with the music, actually, but do you use your own franchise territory as the guinea pig?
Yes. And they all love it, actually. The classes I do, they all love it. I'm like, right, I've got a little something to try. They're like, oh, here she goes. What's going to come out? So the parents love it, and the nurses that we see, yeah, they always sort of like, oh, okay, what's this going to be then, Hannah? And I'm like, yeah, it might not be the final version, but we're just going to give this a try and see.
Love it. But
But
it's
yeah,
that
they love it.
foundation, isn't it? And having that safe space to be able to try the new things,
Yeah.
environment that you are on top of. What kind of difference do you think that makes in terms of rolling ideas out for you?
Yeah, I think it makes a big difference because I think you can test things out, they can give you some feedback as well, and as well, sometimes you might have an idea, but then when you actually put it in front of 2 and 3 year olds, they're like, no, I can't get that. That's far too fast. What are those moves about? Or what's this about? So yeah, you can sort of then just adapt it to fit with them. And obviously we see children from newborns up to sort of probably age 6, 7, plus then we go into care homes and do our intergenerational sessions. So we've got a broad range of age groups and abilities that we need to make things work for. So sometimes it might be like, here's a new dance to this new music that we've got, but actually here's some adaptations to that as well. So if you've got younger ones or older ones, or if you're going to the care home, this is how we can make it work. And by trying it out in our area first, we can then just make sure it spreads across the country in the right way.
Yeah, I love that. It's so important in franchising to have a test bed. It really is. And
Yeah.
actually, every franchisor that I work for has like one franchisee, the chosen one. That was me and Daisy. I put my hand, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll give it a go. Because actually, I think in franchising, again, like this word disruptive, we don't really want disruptive franchisees in the sense that they're going to go off and do what they like. We want them to be doing what we want them to be doing, but
Yeah.
looking at new ways to deliver or kind of, improve the franchise, I think is so important, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm always with the team, always saying to them, like, if you've got ideas, share them. I want to know them. We want to try them, test them. Maybe they might test them, in their areas if they've thought of it. And then we can, if it works, we can then share that out because we want to keep the brand growing and evolving and, developing along the way. So yeah, it's really, everyone comes from different backgrounds as well into the franchise. So everyone's got totally different experiences. Maybe we have quite a lot of teachers that join our franchise. So but then we've also got, like I was from retail, and we've got someone from HR, and we've got somebody from dentistry. So we've got like as well a really, diverse range of people that have all got different ideas. And, if they've got their own children, then they might experience different things as well with them that they think, oh yeah, this could work, or maybe this, and use it in that way too.
Love it, absolutely. And they'll have different demographics of people coming to their class as well, won't they? So,
Yeah,
like actually it's about having that in-class experience and then sharing that. That's what I loved about being a franchisee, that knowledge sharing. So valuable,
yeah,
really is. I think what you just kind of sparked in me there as well, talking about it, is that it is safe to encourage disruption in franchisees in a collaborative way with the franchisor. So it's not
yeah,
about saying nobody can do anything and you must, of course they have to comply to the ops manual and do things how we set. That's what sets us apart as a brand. But actually being able to collaborate safely with the franchisor and change things, I
yeah,
think you create a really safe environment for creativity, because
yeah.
it's okay if it doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think you've got to try things, and everyone might have an idea, and then actually in reality, you're like, oh, does maybe that didn't work. But actually, if you didn't try it, you wouldn't know. So I think, yeah, it's just working together or sharing ideas. So we have lots of like team meetings and things like that where we can chat about maybe ideas that we've got and then how we can make them, work in reality and things like that. So
Love it,
yeah.
absolutely. So talking of meetings then, I think I first met you in person at the Disruptive Franchise Wars
It
last
was. Yeah, last year, yeah, it was, yeah.
year. I'm thinking about this, and it was literally in the lunch queue.
It was,
Yeah, we
yeah.
were busy
I was like,
lunch.
there's you, that's Stacey. I've seen you so much and I follow you.
I think that's the value of in person, isn't it? Because I'd followed you for a while, I knew who you were, I'd
Yeah,
watched the franchise and what you were doing. But actually to meet in person, that connection's just solidifies it, I think.
yeah,
Really
definitely.
does. And I remember talking to you about one of your franchisees who had been a finalist at the FSB Awards, because I'd also been a finalist.
Yeah,
And so it was actually really nice to just kind of have a chat about all the different experiences and stuff like
yeah,
that. And watching you grow since and what I really love about you, Hannah, actually, is that you're very invested in personal development to be a better franchisor, to go and get new ideas and bring them into the franchise. And I've watched you implement a lot of different ideas in the last even few months, let alone the last 12
oh,
months. So a really good example of that being around the recruitment of your franchisees. Tell us what you've been
Yeah.
working on. Don't give any secrets away, but
No, so yeah, so just we're trying to work. So we sort of have an evergreen model at the moment. So anyone can inquire and join whenever they want to, which is great. But we've also been working alongside you to learn some other ways, and one of them is a bit more of a cohort intake. So we've been trying a few different things in the company of how we can actually do that so that we take on maybe more than one person at a time. So when we're training, we're we've got maybe two or three people in that cohort training at the same time. So I've been looking. I've got one of my franchisees. She's going to come on board and help with part of that training aspect as well. So it will help obviously then develop her too in her role. And yeah, so we've sort of been working on different ways of that, and yeah, see what comes through from it.
Oh, I've got my fingers crossed for you because
Oh,
it
thank
is important to evolve, isn't it? I think,
you. Yeah,
and
it's,
we can only do that by learning different things.
yeah,
I love to learn. I'm always learning. I love it. Not everybody gets that.
yeah. No, I'm like that. Which you just touched on it. And you said like you've seen how much I take on board, and I literally I love to learn from everyone and join lots of different groups to find out different things that I can try in the business to to keep it evolving and always thinking ahead as well as to like, okay, what can we do for the next steps, and how can we get Boogie Beat out there to more locations, and how can we be changing, what else can we be doing in our classes. So one big thing we've worked on this year is our inclusivity for Boogie Beat. So we've been working with Nicole Bateman, the Friendly Send Advisor, and we've introduced. So we're all level one Makaton trained. We've been working. We now have sensory tubs in our sessions with lots of different props and ways that children can regulate in our sessions if they need to. We also have visual boards for our Makaton symbols. And then we've also been looking at like all the way through. So like from our website, we now have an inclusivity page on our website. So there's all the way through with videos and different things like that that can really help parents and children to find the right class for them, and to hopefully see Boogie Beat as well as being that class for them to attend. Some of our franchisees as well are doing quiet sessions, so they're a bit slower paced, quieter music, less children, that type of thing as well, to make sure that everyone's welcome at the classes, everyone feels comfortable.
Absolutely amazing, and it's such an important topic. It really is, and
Yeah,
it's something that actually we've really focused on for Disruptive Franchise Awards this year. We've introduced a new uh,
yeah,
inclusivity champion within franchise. I've worked with Nicole as well. She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
yeah,
But it is always looking at how can we just be like even 1% better at something,
yeah,
isn't it? And kind of the seed from that then always grows something
yeah,
else. Like, well, actually, we can do this and we can do more of this. And that's what I
yeah,
love. And I love actually with franchising that we have the ability as franchisors to be able to just implement. There's no red tape. We haven't got to go to a board of directors and get it
yeah,
approved or get client sign off on it like in the old corporate days. I mean, retail,
yeah,
it's really hard to make any decisions, isn't it? It's got to go so
yeah,
far up the chain. So do
yeah.
you enjoy that freedom?
Yeah, yeah, and it is lovely having that freedom just to be like, yeah, let's go with this. Okay, and off we go. Right, what we doing? Yeah, it's so nice to have that freedom and just to be able to, because those changes that you're making are for the best of the company and for the best of all of our team and all the parents and all the children. So yeah, just to be able to say, right, this is what we're going to work on and this is how we're going to do it. And over that time, it's evolved as well massively. So at first we were just like, let's just bring Makaton in, and then then we met Nicole, and then suddenly it was like actually all these other things have been introduced, and I've just finished a CPD course with Nicole, and that was sort of then looking at the website. So it's evolved as the year has gone on, which is lovely that it just keeps evolving to make it all better. And like you said, just going that 1%, maybe more each time, but it's just overall giving a much better experience for everyone.
Yeah, I think that is the essence of successful franchising, if I'm honest with you. Just how do we make little marginal gains in
Yeah,
different areas of the business, whether that's franchise training, whether that is inclusivity for our customer base, whether that is online presence. Obviously, you guys were finalists for online presence last year.
yeah,
Whether it is operations and systems, like where do we make those little gains that just make everything easier? And that is the success path, really.
yeah. Yeah, no, I'd agree.
No, brilliant. Oh, so insightful. We could talk all day about this.
We
I've got a question for you though. So if
yeah.
you guys I think are very good at, like you've just described, their kind of idea implementation, test it first. Is it going to work? If you could do anything without failing, if I could wave the magic wand and you knew whatever,
Yeah.
whether that's in your business or outside of the business, what's the one thing that you would go for if you knew you couldn't fail?
Oh, it's a really hard one, but I've seen quite a few different franchises do it recently, and it looks hard work, but like to go international and to see Boogie Beat across the water would be amazing. But I feel we're a long way from there yet. But you never know. But yeah, I think that would be, just to sort of see Boogie Beat popping up in different countries would be, yeah, incredible because the sessions that we do for the children, it's all about just helping their development from a young age and helping their all the skills that they need, for getting into school and, just how they interact and all of, how they engage with things and how their motor skills develop is, is able to be rolled out everywhere. So yeah, that would be incredible. But and I've seen a few other people testing the waters and trying it from different franchise companies at the moment. They're much bigger than Boogie Meat, so I feel we are a long way from there yet. But that yeah, if I knew we wouldn't fail and I knew that we could do it, then yeah, that would be amazing and like an amazing achievement to do.
Love that. I really do. Hopefully one day you'll do it. I can see Boogie Beats across the world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's that fear though, isn't it? It's the fear that's like
Oh, totally. Yeah.
big investment, not just money, but time and energy. And
Yeah,
yeah, but
definitely.
I think it comes down to impact, doesn't it? Like you clearly want to be able to go and have a much, bigger positive impact on those children and those families, which is
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Really wonderful. Again, I just one of the best things about franchising is being able to spread that impact. So
Yeah.
yeah, what countries would you go for, Hannah?
Oh, I don't know. I
Put you on
don't
the spot.
put me on the spot. I don't know. Obviously, quite a few have recently gone to like Dubai and the Middle East, but I mean, I've not looked at any international work, so I have no idea really what it'd be like. But maybe more though, like I don't know, like Australia and places like that, that actually maybe more of a similar, like quite a similar setup maybe to the UK would think. I don't know. Obviously, US is very different in how franchising works, so that's quite a different ballgame. So yeah, it's sort of looking into all of that, isn't it? Because it's hard. They will have different rules around franchising and how it works in their countries. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what makes it so hard, isn't it? That fear of failure is high because you don't want to go into a market and not understand something properly or not do it
yeah,
right, or like America seems very litigious.
yeah,
Need to get this absolutely nailed on, and it's a big
yeah,
space. So yeah, I completely get.
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully one day we'll see Boogie Beat International.
Thank
That'd be
you.
wonderful. Absolutely. Hannah, thank you so much for your time. So it's been wonderful chatting to you. I've loved talking about how you kind of test, measure, and implement. I think that's been so valuable to hear as someone who's in franchising, and also anyone listening who's potentially thinking about franchising. How do you make it work? How do I'm a like guns blazing kind of girl. Like I've got an idea, let's go for it. But the value in testing it first is just absolutely invaluable, really. So
Yeah,
it's been wonderful to hear your processes and your
thank
own growth as well. From franchisee to franchisor is, no easy task because there's a huge amount of different skills that you have to learn within that very, very quickly because everyone expects you to just know everything.
yeah, I do. Yeah, no,
Not necessarily.
definitely.
So yeah, so absolutely well done on all of your achievements so far.
Oh,
As the point where we record this episode, you're also finalist for awards for this year's Disruptive Franchise Awards.
yeah.
Good luck with those. I'm
Thank
sure we'll have you on again in the future. Hannah, where do people contact you if they're listening and like, I've got to talk to Hannah?
Yep. So you can contact me by email, which is headoffice@boogiebeat.co.uk, or you can follow our Facebook pages, which is Boogie Beat UK, and our Instagram is Boogie Beat HQ. And you can direct message me from either of those as well.
Amazing. We'll add those to the show notes. Hannah, thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you at the
Thank you.
award.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stacey. It's been great.
Brilliant. This award has been really kindly sponsored by both Bookwen and Make Your Mark podcast agency. So thank you to those guys without whom this wouldn't be happening. We will see you all next week. Before we finish up today, I'd love to just thank our podcast sponsors, Book When and Make Your Mark Podcast Agency, without whom this episode wouldn't have been possible. You can find more information on both amazing companies in the show notes. If you've enjoyed listening to today's episode, please also make sure that you hit the subscribe button, and I would absolutely love it if you left a review too. See you next time.